You haven't subscribed to the channel yet? Subscribe now. We have new stories every day. Now let's go. Jenny and Michael had been married for about 20 years. Their son and daughter had left for college, which now left them time to enjoy each other. But lately, Michael had gotten a strange feeling that something was not as it should be. Jenny, in the last few days, seemed a bit restless and avoided eye contact when he talked to her. It had started the day he had seen her having lunch with a handsome man. They had not behaved like they were intimate, but she had not admitted to having this lunch. Instead, she said he must have mistaken her for another woman. Michael knew he had not, so why did she not tell the truth? If she had lunch with a customer or a colleague, she could just say so. Why the secrecy? One evening after dinner, Jenny cleared the table while Michael made coffee. Sitting in the living room making small talk, Michael asked her what was on her mind. "You've been so detached lately, Jenny. What is going on?" She looked down, and after being silent for some time, she started talking. "Before I met you, I had a crush on a guy named Ryan. We were in college together, but not in the same classes. We didn't have the same friends. I met him briefly, only a few times, and to be honest, I didn't particularly like him, but I was inexplicably attracted to him. Twice I was about to go all the way with him, but we were interrupted both times, so we never made love. Each time, I had a strange feeling that I'd missed something, and I didn't like the feeling. After college, we went our separate ways, and about a year later, I met you. I fell in love and forgot all about Ryan. That is, until a few days ago. Ryan started working at my company, and I met him in the lunchroom 2 weeks ago. This is very difficult for me to admit, Michael. Meeting him upset me deeply. I was drawn to him in a way I couldn't understand. As I said, I don't like him as a person, but there's something about him that's hard to resist." She paused to collect her thoughts and then continued. "The last few days, I've been desperate. I try to keep away from him, but I find it very hard to do. I've been thinking about this situation for days now, and that's why I've been so detached and probably very difficult to live with this past week. I'm in deep emotional trouble. I love you, but I crave Ryan. I need to get this out of my system. I'm going to have a brief affair with Ryan. I'm sure that after a few weeks or at most a couple of months, I can get over this insane lust and get back to my normal life. Michael, please understand this has nothing to do with my love for you. It's strictly physical, like an itch that demands scratching." Jenny was now extremely agitated. She was trembling, flushed, and looked at Michael with her heart in her throat, awaiting his response. Michael sat quite still, not really believing what he heard. The tension in the air was almost electrical. He was near the point of explosion, but forced himself to remain calm. "Please, Michael, say something," Jenny pleaded. "Jenny, you just dropped a bomb on me. Don't expect me to have a sensible answer right away. If I heard you right, you just said you intend to have an affair with another man. You didn't ask my permission. You just said you intended to do it. There are two possible responses. Either I say no way, or I stay okay and turn a blind eye to the fact that you're dating and having a sexual relationship with another man for weeks. How can you think this is good for our marriage? As I said, Michael, I just need to get this itch to go away so I can give all my undivided attention to you without anything getting in the way. Don't you see that?" "No, Jenny, not right away. It ain't great. I love you very much and hope we grow old together with a lot of good memories. But instead of saying something in haste that I might regret, I suggest we sleep on it. I'll sleep at the guest room tonight and give you my response tomorrow evening after dinner. Until then, we won't talk about it. But tomorrow at work, keep your distance from Ryan. If he approaches you, find an excuse not to meet or talk to him. Let it be clear you're too busy. This is not a request, but an order. Is that understood?" Jenny nodded in agreement. With a hug and a kiss, they went to bed. Jenny in the master bedroom and Michael in the guest room. Jenny lay there, her thoughts in turmoil. She'd been honest with Michael, but now she feared she'd hurt him deeply. Did I do the right thing? She wondered. Eventually, she fell into a restless sleep. Michael, unable to sleep at first, wrestled with his thoughts. She wants to have an affair and expects me to be okay with it. The mere thought made him angry, but the possibility of losing Jenny frightened him. He stayed awake for hours, thinking of different strategies. Then suddenly he had an idea. Deciding to sleep on it, he finally fell asleep. The next evening after dinner, Michael cleared his throat. "Jenny, I've given this a lot of thought. I'm prepared to give my consent to your affair with Ryan." Jenny smiled and rose to hug him, but he stopped her. "However, it's not unconditional. Here's the deal. You go ahead with your relationship with Ryan, but I'll sleep in the guest room during this time, and we won't share a bed. Once your affair is over, you'll request me to move back to the master bedroom. But then you'll occupy the guest room for twice the number of nights I stayed there. During that time, I'll be free to meet any woman I choose without question from you. This is my condition. Take 24 hours to think it over." Jenny sat in silence, her face shifting from shock to sadness. After a few minutes, she said, "I don't need 24 hours. I've made up my mind. I accept your proposal." Michael looked at her in disbelief. He hadn't expected her to agree so quickly. Jenny continued, "But I want you to move back to the master bedroom tonight. I'll move into the guest room for 2 nights. I don't want to spend more than 2 nights there because I love you, Michael. I've been selfish and deserve the pain. Please move back to our room. Michael nodded. If that's your wish, I'll move back tonight. A year later, Michael brought up a bottle of champagne to celebrate the anniversary of their reconciliation. As they toasted, he confessed he had staged a moment during that time to make Jenny think he had a fling. Jenny's eyes welled up with emotion. Michael, I'm sorry for everything. I love you, and I'll never make such a mistake again. They embraced their love for each other stronger than ever. As for Ryan, he lost his job, his wife divorced him, and he relocated to a small town. His story ended where it began, irrelevant to Michael and Jenny's renewed bond.